Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, how are you today? And first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Mikel Fatih Dewantara, and today in this video I will convey my opinion regarding the referee Ahmad Al-Kaf and the match result of Indonesian national team versus Bahrain national team. And I did this video to fulfill an English core assignment. Okay, so before we started, the reason I choose this topic is because I think this is an interesting topic, and it's quite interesting for Indonesian people because I think there were several strange and controversial decisions from the referee in this match. Alright, then let's go straight to the main topic. So, the main topic here is my opinion about the match. So, in my opinion, and as I watched the match, the thing that I noticed first was the lack of sportsmanship from the Bahrain national team. Why? Because, for example, in this match we could see that the Bahrain players often pretended to foul or were hit by Indonesian players, even though that didn't happen at all. And I really hate it when I watched that. And from this action, it is clear that we can conclude that there is something strange in this match. And what was even stranger was that the referee gave an unclear yellow card and a free kick for Bahrain for several fouls which were not clearly committed by the Indonesian players. In this match, Bahrain managed to take a lead ahead of Indonesian national team. Bahrain took the lead through Muhammad Marhum goals in the 15th minute. But not long afterward, at the end of the first half, a player from Indonesia named Ragnar Uratmangun managed to score a goal for equalize for Indonesia. Then in the second half, the Indonesian national team took the lead against Bahrain through Rafael Struijk goals in the 74th minute. But here's the thing. There is a controversial goal that was created in this match. This goal was from Muhammad Marhum in the 99th minute, which denied Indonesian victory, which was inside. And why I call this goal is controversial, it's because the goals happened in the 99 minutes, where the extra time it should only have been 6 minutes, but the referee had not yet blown the whistle in the 96th minute. And above resulted in the anger of Indonesian supporters. And here I also provoked by emotion. I'm about to angry when I watch the match because how could it not be that the Indonesian national team almost won, but the referee decided this thing, which made me disappointed. And not just me, everyone who supports Indonesia is really disappointed of this match. It's really not fair for me. But I am sure there is a second leg, and in the second leg, the Indonesian national team will win. And as we know, in response to this controversial decision from the referee, Indonesian Football Federation, also known as PSSI, has sent a letter of protest to AFC, and I fully support it. Because for me it was really a strange decision. It's not fair, it's not what we want, because this is such a big match for Indonesia, because this for qualification for the AFC or Asian Cup, Asian Championship, and I don't believe that there is a referee that lead the match with not that lead the match, and it was not fair for me. So okay everyone, I guess it's the video about my opinion regarding the Indonesian versus Bahrain match. I hope that in the future the matches that will be played by the Indonesian national team will be run more fairly and more professionally, because the Indonesian match have been very detrimental to the Indonesian side, because our national team should be won but end up with a draw because of an individual. Although like that, but I'm sure not all of the referees are like that. It's just this individual. Okay, well, in closing, that's all from my opinion about this topic. And before it, I want to apologize if there are any incorrect words in my opinion, and maybe there is some inaccurate data. So please correct me if I'm wrong, and so that we both know what happened. And okay, that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Good morning to Miss Puspatu as the English lecturer in the UPSI in my university. So today I'm gonna explain about the question word. So let's go to it. So here you can see me. Oh, before we started, let me introduce myself. My name is Mikel Fatih Dewantara. I am a student for University of Bina Sarana Informatika. Okay, today in this lecture, I'm gonna divide this material into 4 different points. The first one is question word, and the second one we gonna learn about the formula of the question word. And spoiler, there is 4. Okay, and for the next one, number 3, we have the what are included as the question word. We gonna learn about that. And the fourth one, we're gonna learn about the example of the question word. So let's go to the go. So what is a question word? A question word is a word that usually used to ask someone about something. And a question word is usually interrogative, because we want to ask the person we're talking to get the information. Okay, next slide. Okay, in this slide we have the function of the question word. So the question word are used to ask for information from the person you are talking to, where the person you are talking must give a clear answer to you. Or in other words, you cannot answer this question with only a yes or a no, because we ask for a clear information from the person we are talking to. And here we have the example of interaction. This is the example of how to use a question word. So the first person say, "Where is my bag?" And that person of course expected about the location of the bag. And the second person cannot answer it with yes or no because it's gonna sound weird. So the answer must be it's under your table because the first person asking about the location and the second person give you the location. Okay? You cannot answer it with yes or no. Cannot. Can. Next. Okay. Here you go. Now we at the second point. Formula of the question word. So in this slide, we're gonna divide this formula into 4. The first formula is the question word with auxiliary verb, or in Indonesia we call it kata kerja bantu. So the following is the WH, or we gonna say it the question word. The question word formula with auxiliary verb is we gonna have the WH plus. Note here the WH mean the question word, okay? So we have the WH plus auxiliary verb, and in this auxiliary verb that included is to be, do, and have. Okay, to be, do, and have. And after that, we need to add the subject plus main verb. And don't forget, because this is a question word, we always use a question mark. Don't forget that. Plus question mark. And for example, here we have, when are you leaving? Where do they live? And what have they decided? Okay, and next. This formula of the question word number 2. The question word with modal verb. And modal verb is also a kata kerja bantu. So what is a modal verb? Modal verb is a word that included words that included as a modal verb is can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, and must. And for the formula of the question word with modal verb, we have this. We have the WH. Remember, the WH stands for the question word because almost all of the question word started with WH. Okay, so for the formula we have the WH plus modal verb plus subject plus main verb, and don't forget about the question mark. And here we have the who would he stay with. In this sentence we have would as the modal verb, and what should I do? And here we have the should that stand as the modal verb. Okay, next slide is the question word without auxiliary verb or modal verb. So here's was one of the form of question word that doesn't need any auxiliary or modal verb, that doesn't need kata kerja bantu. This formula show that the WH itself, or a question word itself, has replaced the subject position itself. So we just need WH plus main verb, and then forget the question mark. Don't forget that. So in this example we have the who won the game. So we don't need the who is won the game, who should won the game, blah 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 blah, because this question word itself stand as the subject, replace the subject position itself. So who won the game, who bought this, so we don't need any of the auxiliary or modal verb. Okay, next. Oh yeah, this is the last one. This formula is a negative question word. So without you realizing it, the example of each type of WH question above are positive or affirmative. Well, of course, the form of interrogative sentence can also be negative when asking negative WH question. We can use the auxiliary verb do when there is no other auxiliary verb or no modal verb. And for example, here we have this. So, in this slide, we can clearly see which one is positive and which one is negative. So, for the positive example, we have who wants candy? Siapa yang mau permen? And which class open? Kelas mana yang buka? So, the negative form of this question word is we add the do. So, who doesn't want candy? Which class didn't open? So, this word doesn't and didn't makes the positive question word become a negative question word. So remember, if you want to make a question word become negative, always use the auxiliary verb do when there is no other auxiliary verb or no modal verb. You always need to add this, that either doesn't or didn't. Okay? Next we have the third point. What are included as the question word? Okay, here I have it. Yeah, we have this. Who? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is 8 of the question word. We have who, what, when, where, why, which, whose, how. Okay? And with each of them, we have the example here. You can see. Okay. So next. So we reach the last point of the slide or the example. So we're gonna show you some example of how to use a question word, each of them. So the first one is who. Who is used to ask someone about a person or people or subject. And for example, who opened the window, or who are you? Who is that? Who is he? And we have the example here how to use who following the question word formula. We have who are you? So in this first sentence, the auxiliary verb you can see is are. And for the second sentence, we have with modal verb. Who will drink all this cola? Who will drink all this tea? Here you can see will. So will in this sentence is stand as the modal verb. Okay? And without auxiliary or modal verb, we have who won the game. We don't need to add some auxiliary or modal verb. We don't use to be, do, are, or have. And who will drink all of this cola in modal verb? And in this auxiliary, without auxiliary or modal verb, we don't need will also, because the question word itself stands as the subject. And the fourth one here, we have the who doesn't want a car. Of course, it's negative because you can find this word in this sentence, doesn't. It makes the sentence negative. Next, what? So, what is a question word that is used to ask about things? As we know, what is a question word that works to ask something or something related to someone? For example, if you called by your mom, of course you're gonna answer it with what, mom? What's happening? And here we have two examples. What are you doing or what is your name? Both of these is also an example for without auxiliary or modal verb. And here's how to use what following the question word formula. So, with the auxiliary verb, we have what have you done? Here we have this word have as the auxiliary verb. And for the second one, we have what should I do? So should is a modal verb. And third one is what is your name? See, what is your name here? It was an example of how to use what without auxiliary or modal verb. And in this negative one, it's a little bit different because we use isn't. It's also make this sentence become negative. What isn't included in this food? This isn't stand as the word that make this sentence negative. Okay, next. Next we have when. Of course, when is used to ask when something happens. This question word is closely related to the adverb of time, which can be the answer to this type of question. For example, here we have the where is the next World Cup? When can I see you again? When did he leave? And here's how to use the when following the question word formula. We have when are you gonna sleep? Of course, are is the auxiliary verb. When will Dad fix my bike? Will as the modal verb. When is your birthday? We don't need are or will, we just need when, because it stands for the subject itself. And for the negative, I'm sorry, I forget to edit, so we're gonna edit now. When didn't you go to sleep? When didn't you go to sleep? The word that makes it negative is didn't. Next, we have where. So, if you want to find out information about the location or place, purpose and position of someone or something, of course, the right question word to use is where. For example, where are you from? Usually we ask this when we meet someone from a different place from us. For example, we meet a stranger. For me, maybe if I meet someone from overseas country, I'm gonna ask where are you from? And where do you live? It's also we gonna ask if we meet a new person, a stranger, that we have the interesting to know more. And of course, don't forget, here's how to use where following the question word formula. Where do they live? Here, do is the auxiliary verb. Where can I get that taco? Can is also included as the modal verb, so we use the can as the modal verb here. Where is your mom? This doesn't need auxiliary or modal verb, okay? Because it's gonna sound weird. For example, where is can your mom? Or where is do your mom? Of course, that sounds so weird. Okay, next. Next, we have why. This question word function as a search for a reason or causes. In this case, the reasons can be positive or negative to find out the background of something happening. For example, why did you eat my cake? Or why did you break my cup? Or why the forest getting cut? And here's how to use why following the question word formula. We have why do you love me? This sentence usually used to ask to our partner in relationship. Do here stand as the auxiliary verb, of course. And the second one, we have the why would you do that? We ask this to a person with talking, why they take that action. Of course, would is the modal verb. Now, this without auxiliary or modal verb, we have why is he laughing? And here for the last one, the negative question word, we have why you doesn't clear your room. Here doesn't is the one word that makes it negative. Okay, next. Oh, which? Okay, number 6 here we have which. How often are you confused about a choice? Whether it's choices related to goods, color, opinion, etc. Well, if you need opinions from other people, you can always use which to ask about the option. For example, if we confuse between color, which one is better, we gonna ask to someone who know us which color match better with us. So we can ask here, for example, which one is better, which color is better, which one is faster, and something like that. And here you have how to use which following the question word formula. This the auxiliary verb. We have which one do you prefer, coffee or tea? We ask the person we are talking to which one they like more between coffee or tea. We usually ask this where is a guest, where is someone or a guest coming to our home. Okay, next one. Which one can lead me to a better future? Can here standing as the modal verb. Okay, so for the without auxiliary or modal verb, which color you want, we don't need any modal or auxiliary verb, because if we add both of them, it's gonna sound so weird. Okay, for the last one, the negative question word, we have which car you don't like and why Why you don't like that car? Which car you don't like? Of course, can't forget the don't, because this word make the sentence negative. Okay, next. Whose? Whose is a question word to ask for possession, aka ownership. For example, whose car is this? Whose pen is that? Here's how to use whose following the question word formula. Whose are this novel? Whose car is it? Okay. Next. Oh yeah, and if you remember, from number 1 to 7, the question word always start with WH. That's why it's called the WH question. And finally, in this number 8 is how. There is a how for you to use when you want to ask about manner or process, condition and quality. And this question word also applies to asking for price, duration, frequency, age, method, distance, or quantity. And for example, in this sentence, we have how are you, or how to make a kebab. And here's how to use how following the question word formula. How do you make cup of tea? We asking the person we're talking to how they make a cup of tea. And this word do stand as the auxiliary verb. And for the second, how could we just be friends? Could here we use as the modal verb. And fun fact, this sentence I take from the lyric from a song. I forget the name of the song, but it sounds like this. How could we ever just be friends? Okay, next. How are you? How are you is the example for the how without auxiliary or modal verb. And for the last one, the negative question, we have how you don't like my tea. Of course, don't. You can't forget it, because if you don't add this word, it's not gonna be a negative question word. Okay, next. Oh, thank you. I guess this is the end of this learning. So I hope you understand everything that I explained in this video. I'm sorry if there is so many errors, because I still learning how to make this kind of video. And I'm so sorry if there is any error. So thank you and see you again. Bye bye.